Okay, folks, up for sale are my two Visico 600 watt studio strobes. Come with two strobes, two nightstands, two soft boxes, and a remote trigger. So you can see in here it's actually quite large if you kind of take a look at my hand to compare it. They're quite large strobes. So it comes with a modeling light. There's two different sizes. This one happens to be the higher powered modeling light, which is 250 watts. And like I said, the strobes themselves are 600 watt studio strobes. Just to prove that they both work, I'll set it up and show you how they work. Here it's got a setting from 1 to 6. Now a 6 is one full stop. That's full power. You go down to 5, that's half power, and down to 4, all the way down to, I think it's 1/32. You can see it flashing because it has to dissipate the power so that it doesn't, you get the right setting. Okay. And then what happens is you have audio. There's an audio on or off. There's a slave setting, so you can turn it on for infrared, like of another flash. You can use other flashes to trigger it. These are the sensors that do that. So if you have an on-camera flash and you want to set these off, just put it in the right slave mode and it'll trigger them by the flash on your camera. So they have a test button. So you can see it goes off using the test button, and then when it's ready to fire again, the audio will chime like that. So let's put it on lowest power setting so I don't keep using the full power on these lamps. So the other thing it has is it has a radio trigger. So you can see you can use cable to trigger it. In this case, it has a wireless trigger. So that's this. So you have a flash for your camera. You set this on there. It uses the middle button, which is universal for flash. And then as soon as you press, like here's a test button, I can test it. Press this button. You can see that triggers it that way. And like I said, one of the most common ways I used it in studio was just using my on-camera flash, or even if I had off-camera flash, those would trigger it as well. So you hear it beeping once. Actually, let's go ahead and kind of show you. So here's the remote trigger again. Okay. The modeling light, you would push this button to turn on the modeling light. Rotate the button to turn it on. Higher power, lower power. And then it has two modes so that when you trigger it, the modeling light will turn off and the strobe light will, will trigger. And then the modeling light comes back on, or you can have a setting where it stays on all the time. Okay. So let me turn off that modeling lamp. Same thing with this one. Let's turn the power on. Let's turn on the modeling lamp. Set it halfway up. So there's the strobe with the modeling lamp and the softbox on it. The softbox also rotates 90 degrees. So that's nice. Then, let's see here. So I have this, so I'm gonna set it to slave. And so now it's gonna use this audio, this infrared sensor to trigger. And then, let me see, I have the audio on so that when we trigger this one, they both go off. So you hear both of them beeping. So that means when I triggered this unit, the flash triggered that unit. Let's see here. Like I said, both tripods come with, or both studio strobes come with tripods in the kit. The power cords are quite long, and there's 2 soft boxes, and they both break down. You saw that. You can see them. They fold nicely up into the carrying case. Here's the, let's see here. This is the other soft box. So the other soft box, and then the panels. Take a look at the panels real quick. So these panels come off quite easily. You just kind of pinch them around the corner. They have Velcro that make them stay on. So inside of it, you can see it's highly reflective, and then it has an inner curtain to help take away any hot spots when you're taking these. So it's double layered, so you don't have a hot spot right in the middle. Okay, and then here's the other cover, or when you're using it for bare flash. That's the other cover. So 2 studio strobes, 600 watts, 250 watt modeling lights. They come with 2 soft boxes and 2 tripods, along with this remote trigger. And like I said, this is set up for that, but you can pretty much use any cable or other type of triggers if you already have those. All right, thanks.